Hello, greetings mga ka-spacers natin out there from Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao. And sa lahat ng ating mga ka-spacers na nakatutok ngayon worldwide and netwide, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. This is your ka-spacer and space commander, Prof Jun Cajigal, welcoming you to another online telescope viewing. And today mga ka-spacers, my telescope is pointing at the waxing gibbous moon at about 77% illumination. Today is May 11, 2022. And a few days from now mga ka-spacers, we will be witnessing the full moon. Full moon will be on May 16, 2022. Ayan po, so aantabayanan po natin ngayon yan. But right now mga ka-spacers, my telescope is pointing at the waxing gibbous moon at 77% illumination. So mga ka-spacers, no, pag sinabi nating waxing gibbous, this is an intermediate phase of the moon that starts right after the first quarter when the moon is illuminated by about 50%. So the name gibbous comes from the moon's shape, which is less than a full moon but more extensive than the first quarter's semicircle shape. So if you will notice mga ka-spacers, medyo oblong or semicircle yung shape ng buwan natin ngayong gabi. Waxing means that the moon is getting bigger. So ayan po yung description natin ng waxing gibbous moon. So join me mga ka-spacers in the next 30 minutes as we observe the waxing gibbous moon through the mirrors of my telescope. Ito po yung telescope na ginamit ko for our lunar imaging. This is a Vixen Voyager reflecting telescope. So kakaiba po ito kasi this telescope uses mirrors to produce the magnified image of the distant object. Unlike yung mga ginagamit ko yung sa mga previous online telescope viewings po natin, yung Vixen Custom 80 refracting telescope, yan po naman uses lenses. Refracting uses lenses to produce the magnified image. Ito naman, itong Vixen Voyager ko reflecting telescope uses mirrors to produce the magnified image of the distant object. Ang pinagkaiba lang po nito, ang reflecting telescope really minimizes chromatic aberration. Ayan po, very sharp po yung lunar image na binibigay nitong Vixen Voyager reflecting telescope. Ayan, Voyager, like itong damit ko ngayon, no? Itong uniform na suit ko ngayon, this is the uniform of Star Trek Voyager. Ayan po. Alright, so in a few minutes mga ka-spacers, we will be magnifying the image of our waxing gibbous moon. Alright, and marami tayong i-feature ngayon, like yung tinatawag nilang golden handle. Ayan po, and also yung Copernicus crater. Kitang-kita kahit hindi magnified po yung image, kitang-kita po yung Copernicus crater. Alright, so ayan po yung ating waxing gibbous moon, no? So gibbous means yung shape ng moon ay oblong or semicircle. Alright, and kahit na hindi magnified yung image po ng ating buwan, no? Kitang-kita na yung buwan ay merong isang damakmak na craters. Alright, so ayan po, no? So we have here now the magnified image of our waxing gibbous moon. And again, if you will notice mga ka-spacers, no, yung mga craters ng buwan, and lalong-lalo na yan, no? So my telescope now is pointing at the Copernicus crater. Ayan po. So the Copernicus crater is a lunar impact crater located in the eastern Oceanus Procellarum, and this was named after the astronomer Nicholas Copernicus. Ayan po. Just to give you an idea of the the diameter of the Copernicus crater. The Copernicus crater is more or less 93 kilometers in diameter and about 3.8 kilometers deep. So ayan po, so napakalaki po ng crater na yan. Siguro mas malaki pa yan po sa Las Piñas. Alright, so ayan po, no, my telescope now is pointing at the Copernicus crater. Alright, so fascinating, di ba mga ka-spacers? Hindi ba kayo namamangha dyan sa Copernicus crater na yan? Alright. Ayan, and you could see yung mga dark patches na yan. Those are lunar plains or Marias. Yan, Maria is the Latin word for seas. And my telescope now is pointing at the Montes Apenninus mountain range. Ayan po, no? That's the Montes Apenninus mountain range. Okay, so ang Montes Apenninus mountain range is a rugged mountain range on the northern part of the moon's near side, named after the Apennine Mountains in Italy. Ayan po. Alright, and yung mga dark patches na yan, those are lunar plains or Marias. Maria is the Latin word for seas because they thought yung mga unang astronomers, yung mga early astronomers and early sailors, they thought na yung mga dark patches na yan were bodies of water. Kala nila dagat. Kaya pinangalan nilang Maria or seas. Ayan, mare. Like the Sea of Tranquility kung saan naglanding po yung Apollo 11. Alright, so ayan po, no? We are moving the telescope again at the Copernicus crater. Ayan po. Alright, so yung Copernicus crater nasa ano yan po, no? Oceanus Procellarum. Ayan po. Okay, and we are now moving the telescope dito sa Southern Lunar Highlands. And ito po yung Tycho crater. Ayan, pero hindi pa masyadong spectacular yung Tycho crater kasi hindi pa visible yung rays niya. Alright, so pag sinabi nating rays, those are patterns of white lines radiating along the rim of the crater. In this case, yung Tycho crater, talagang very prominent po yung rays niya. Alright. So, ayan po, no? That's the Tycho crater. Nasa Southern Lunar Highlands. Alright, so those bright areas, mga ka-spacers, are lunar highlands and impact craters. So, makikita nyo yung mga sangdamakmak na craters na yan. And again, those craters, mga ka-spacers, those are lunar features caused by asteroids and meteorites colliding with the lunar surface. And kitang-kita naman po mga ka-spacers that the moon's surface is covered with thousands of these craters. Alright. Ayan, so imagine niyo po mga ka-spacers that you are on board the Apollo spacecraft orbiting the moon. Ayan, so parang sumisili po tayo dun sa bintana ng Apollo spacecraft. And ayan po yung telescope. Actually, I treat the telescope as a spaceship. Parang spaceship po yan. So habang sumisili po tayo sa eyepiece ng telescope, parang na rin tayong sumisilip sa bintana ng Apollo spacecraft. Alright, so again po yung mga itim na yan, those are lunar plains or Marias. Okay, akala nila dagat yan, kaya they gave it the name Marias or Mares, like the Sea of Tranquility. Sa taas yun is the Sea of Serenity. Ayan po yung Sea of Tranquility, dyan po naglanding yung Apollo 11. Pero hindi naman po dagat yan eh. Alright, so we know that those dark areas are actually solidified pools of ancient basaltic lava. Ayan po, so my telescope now is again pointing at the Copernicus crater. Alright, so ang Copernicus crater nasa Oceanus Procellarum yan. It's 93 kilometers in diameter and 3.8 kilometers deep. Okay, and to give you an idea po mga ka-spacers regarding some of the Apollo missions, yung Apollo 12 collected samples from one of the rays of the Copernicus crater. Ayan po. So that's our magnified image of our waxing gibbous moon at 77% illumination. So ang buwan po ngayon ay 77% illuminated, and in a few days from now, we will be observing the full moon. Ang full moon is on May 16, Monday po, 2022. Okay, so ayan po yung ating waxing gibbous moon tonight, May 11, 2022. Alright, so again po, waxing, that means that the moon is appearing to be growing or is getting bigger. No? And gibbous, again, because of the shape of the moon. Yung shape po ng moon ay parang semicircle or oblong in shape. Alright, the waxing gibbous is an intermediate phase of the moon that starts right after the first quarter, when the illumination is 50%. Yan po yung first quarter. Alright, then the name gibbous comes from the moon's shape, which is less than a full moon but more extensive than the first quarter's semicircle shape. Waxing means that the moon is getting bigger. Ayan po. Alright, so sana marami po kayong natututunan sa aking mga kwento about the moon. Alright, and fini-feature din po natin yung nalampasan po natin kanina, no, yung tinatawag nilang golden handle. So mamaya po pag minagnify natin ulit yung image ng buwan, ayan po, ituturo po natin kung nasaan po yung tinatawag nilang golden handle of the moon. Yan, kitang-kita yan po pag yung moon ay nasa waxing gibbous phase. And yung golden handle, kitang-kita po yan sa Terminator. Again, the Terminator is the imaginary line separating the lighted part of the moon from the unlit part. Alright, so before we move on, habang hinihintay po natin yung ating magnified image of the moon, again po, shout out sa lahat ng mga nakatutok ngayon, mga ka-spacers na hanggang po ngayon ay gising na gising at buhay na buhay. So maraming salamat sa inyong walang sawang pagtutok sa ating online telescope viewing. And again, pakiusap ko lang po mga ka-spacers to please like, share itong ating online telescope viewing para naman po sa mga kabataan, no, lalong-lalo yung mga estudyante. Ikalat po natin itong online telescope viewing para naman ma-inspire yung mga kabataan natin to love the sciences. Alright, and share po natin, no? Wag natin pong ipagdamot sa kanila kasi para ma-inspire naman po sila, no? Kung wala po silang telescope, ito po yung pagkakataon nila na masilayan nila yung ganda, ma-appreciate nila yung buwan natin ngayon. So ikalat po natin itong online telescope viewing para ma-inspire naman ng maraming tao, lalong-lalo na po yung mga estudyante, so that they would be engaged in the sciences. Alright po, so shout out sa mga officers and crew of the Beden Society of Young Astronomers headed by Miss Angeline Kilang na in a few weeks from now ay gagraduate na po. Alright, and shout out sa aking incoming officers of BSYA 2022-2023. Ayan, si Miss Hannah Franz Tan, sila Miss Judea Cabanyero and the rest of the crew of BSYA. Alright, and shout out din po sa mga volunteers ko from the Sky Watchers Society of Las Piñas. Ayan, meron po kaming event tong weekend. Mamaya babanggitin po natin, ipopromote natin yung activity na yan this weekend. Initiated by the Sky Watchers Society of Las Piñas in cooperation, in partnership with Vista Mall. Ayan, Vista Mall sa may Villar Sipag. Ayan, okay. sa Las Piñas din. Okay po mga ka-spacers. So ayan po yung mamaya po promote po natin yan. Alright, so dito muna po tayo sa ating online telescope viewing of the waxing gibbous moon. Okay, so the moon is 77% illuminated. Alright, and marami po tayong makikita kahit hindi magnified po yung image ng buwan. Makikita natin yung Copernicus crater and yung tinatawag nilang golden handle. Ayan. Alright, so about 2 days after the first quarter, the Terminator falls on a mountain range called Montes Jura. Yan mamaya tuturo po natin yung Montes Jura na yan. The Montes Jura is located on the moon's near side. It is spread across the northwest portion, covering around 422 kilometers. Below this mountain range is the basaltic lava plain called Sinus or Sinus Iridium or the Bay of Rainbows. Yung golden handle mga ka-spacers is the stunning visual created when the Terminator falls on the Montes Jura range. The high peaks of the mountain are illuminated first while the Bay of Rainbows below it is still in darkness. Ayan po. Alright, so my telescope now. Ito na po yung magnified image po ng buwan. And ayan po ulit yung Copernicus crater, which is about 93 kilometers in diameter. Alright. Ayan po, nasa Terminator po tayo. Yung imaginary line separating the lighted part from the unlit part of the moon. Alright. Yan po yung Copernicus crater. Siguro mas malaki pa ho yan sa Las Piñas. Named after the renowned astronomer Nicholas Copernicus. Alright. And talagang makikita nyo yung mga craters na bilog. Those craters were created from asteroids, meteorite impacts. Alright, so ayun, kita pa yung shadow sa loob ng Copernicus crater mga ka-spacers. Alright, and my telescope now is moving ayan, dito sa Montes Apenninus. Ayan po, nakikita nyo po yung Montes Apenninus mountain range. Okay, named after the Apennine Mountains in Italy. Alright, so ayan po yung Montes Apenninus. Alright, my telescope now is moving further north. Yan, and makikita po natin yung tinatawag natin na golden handle. Alright, so fascinating indeed, no? If you're fascinated mga ka-spacers, please comment down below. If you're fascinated, if you're amazed, please type in your reactions or comments in our comment section below. Ayan po. Alright, so we are now moving the telescope and ayan po, na bandang taas po yun ang tinatawag po natin na golden handle. Okay, medyo nalampasan po natin. Yung parang curved arc po na yung kanina. Alright, so my telescope is still pointing at the Copernicus crater. Ayan, pababa na po tayo sa Southern Lunar Highlands. Alright, yeah. So ito yung mga white areas, yung mga bright areas po ng buwan. Those are lunar highlands and impact craters. So mapapansin po ninyo, talagang sang damakmak na craters. And ayan po yung Tycho crater, named after the renowned astronomer Tycho Brahe. Pero mas maganda po yan pag na malapit na yung full moon kasi talagang very prominent yung ray system niya. Alright. So nandito po tayo sa Southern Lunar Highlands. po, so isipin po ninyo na kayo ay nasa loob ng Apollo spacecraft, no? At kayo sumisilip sa bintana. So yung telescope po natin, habang sumisilip po tayo sa eyepiece at nakakabit po yung camera, para po tayong sumisilip sa bintana ng Apollo spacecraft. And imagine po natin that we are orbiting the moon. So ang telescope natin ay parang spaceship na rin, no? Alright, and ito po yung telescope na ginamit ko for our lunar imaging tonight. Ito po yung Vixen Voyager Reflecting Telescope. A reflecting telescope uses mirrors to produce the magnified image of the distant object. And ito po yung mga dark patches. Again, those are lunar plains. Ang tawag po dyan ay Mare or Maria. The word Maria is the Latin for seas. Kasi nga yung mga early sailors, early astronomers, they thought na yung mga dark patches na yan were bodies of water. Pero ano po yan? Yung mga dark patches na yan are solidified pools of ancient basaltic lava. Alright, so ito po yung Sea of Tranquility kung saan naglanding yung Apollo 11. Ang sa taas po niyan is the Sea of Serenity. Alright. Ayan, so yung galaw po ng ating lunar image para po tayong nasa orbit around the moon. Ayan po. So ito po ulit yung Montes Apenninus. And we have here the Copernicus crater. Nasa taas po yung tinatawag nilang golden handle. Yan, nalampasan taon natin kanina. Okay. So if you're fascinated mga ka-spacers, just type in your reactions or your comments in our comment section below. Alright, so ayan po yung ating magnified image of the moon. And ayan po, no, kita pa rin yung tinatawag nilang golden handle sa northern side of the moon. Para siyang curved na arco, curved arc. Ayan, na malapit sa Terminator. Mapapansin niyo po kagad yan. No, yun ang tinatawag nilang golden handle. Alright, so there you have it mga ka-spacers. That's the magnified image of our waxing gibbous moon. The moon is 77% illuminated. Today is May 11, 2022. Alright, so siguro hanggang dito na lang po tayo. And sana marami po kayong natutunan at marami po kayong napulot na aral about our waxing gibbous moon tonight sa ating online telescope viewing. And again po mga ka-spacers, so please like and share this online telescope viewing at ikalat po natin ito, no, para makarating po sa maraming tao, lalong-lalo na po yung mga estudyante. Alright, so ayan po, no. And may mga activities po kami na gusto ko pong i-promote bago po tayo magtapos sa ating online telescope viewing. So ang Bellan Society of Young Astronomers, we will be live streaming episode 6 of Cosmo Quest. Ako pa rin po yung magtuturo dyan. Ang topic po natin would be the properties of water. What makes water special, no, in supporting life on Earth? That is our continuing astrobiology episodes of Cosmo Quest. So kagaya po ng sinabi ko dati, the whole month of May will be dedicated for astrobiology. So sa ating susunod na episode, episode 6, we will be discussing what makes water special that can support life on Earth. No? Ayan po yung ating pag-uusapan sa Cosmo Quest. This coming Saturday, May 14 at 8 o'clock p.m. So please visit our Facebook page, the Bellan Society of Young Astronomers, for the live stream of Cosmo Quest. Ayan po. Alright, at ikalat po natin, share natin po, like and share yung ating live streaming of Cosmo Quest this coming Saturday, May 14. Alright, and on May 13 and 14, ang Sky Watchers Society of Las Piñas will be having a free public telescope viewing at Vista Mall. May tawag dyan yung Vista Mall na nasa Villar, Sipag Villar. Alright, so I think Vista Mall Global South, something like that. We will be having our free public telescope viewing malapit po sa Dear Joe's. Ayan, restaurant po yung Dear Joe's. Parang sine po, Dear Joe. Pero ano yan, kainan po yan no, na nasa Vista Mall sa may Sipag Villar sa C5 Extension, Las Piñas. So if you are near the place, kung malapit po kayo sa Vista Mall sa may Sipag Villar, come and join us on May 13 and 14. Nandiyan na po kami 6 o'clock and we will be observing again the waxing gibbous moon. Siguro mga ano na yan, 85 or 90% illuminated na yung buwan by that time. Okay po mga ka-spacers, and may konting lecture po ako dyan habang sumisilip po tayo sa telescope. Alright, and also on May 15, ako daming activities po. May 15 naman, ang Belan Society of Young Astronomers, we will be having our online telescope viewing po. Ang tawag nila dyan ay liwanag ng buwan o liwanag sa dilim, ganun. Liwanag sa dilim, ang online telescope viewing initiated by the Belan Society of Young Astronomers. Yan yung a day before the full moon kasi ang full moon ay Monday, May 16. Alright, so please visit the Facebook page of BSYA for that online telescope viewing. And sumali po kayo sa mga itatanong ng mga host. Ayan, okay. Alright, so siguro hanggang dito na lang po tayo. And please tangkilikin po natin yung mga activities ng Belan Society of Young Astronomers and yung Sky Watcher Society of Las Piñas tong weekend na ito. Alright, so this is your Ka-Spacer and Space Commander, Professor Jun Cajigal, saying live long and prosper. And always remember mga Ka-Spacers to always keep your space. Alright, stay safe mga Ka-Spacers. Bye-bye. See you in our next online telescope viewing at ikalat po natin. Like and share. Like and share po. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.